Hi everyone and welcome to this yin yoga routine where we're going to focus on the glutes. We're going to do some nice deep glute stretches through some yin yoga poses, holding them for about 3 to 5 minutes each. That's really going to help to release the glutes and hopefully release any tension, be that physical or emotional, that you might be holding within your glutes. As always, you might have some cushions or yoga blocks nearby just to use them within the pose for a little bit more support if you feel that you do need it. If you're ready to begin, we're going to start with Swan pose. So you can make your way towards all fours on your yoga mat. And then when you're there, we're going to bring our right knee forward, very mindfully keeping this right foot flexed just to support the knee. We're always checking in on this front knee, making sure we don't feel any pain. And if everything is feeling good, you can walk your back knee back slightly to go a little bit deeper into this pose. If you need some support here, you can place that cushion or yoga block in underneath your right hip. Now you might be happy to stay here, but if you do want to go that little bit deeper, you can come down onto your forearms, coming into sleeping swan. And there is an option to go a little bit deeper here again, maybe bringing your forehead down onto your hands or onto a yoga block or a cushion. And we'll be here for about 3 minutes in total, so you can take your time, adjust as much as you need to. And when you do feel supported within the pose, you can challenge yourself to some stillness. Starting to tap into that right glute. Really feeling it opening and stretching. And breathe in to open it up even further. And breathe out to get rid of tension. Your mind might become distracted, which is normal. Use the sensation within your glute like an anchor for it, just keeping it here on your mat, with your body and with your breath. Now you're not completely collapsed into swan pose here. Maintain a little bit of activity within your feet, maybe gently pressing them into the earth. Imagine that they're trying to pull towards each other, but only ever so slightly. We're taking 3 more big breaths here, breathing into that right glute. And as you're ready, you can push yourself away from the ground, coming slowly back up. And if you are sitting on a yoga block or a cushion here, you can remove it. And we'll come to sit on our right hip. Now from here, we're going to come into shoelace pose. So to do that, you can bring your left foot all the way across. So now your left foot is beside your right hip. Your knees are relatively stacked on top of each other. Now here you can again sit on a cushion or yoga block. And if this feels too intense for those glutes, you can straighten out your bottom leg. So straighten out your right leg. We're going to be here in shoelace for about 2 minutes. And this is a really nice opener for both glutes. You might be feeling it a little bit more in your left glute. We want to make sure we're not sitting on our feet and we can feel both of our seat bones pressed into the mat. So lengthen and straighten your neck and your spine if you can. Create that straight passageway for your breath to flow all the way down into your hips. Inhaling to stretch the glutes. Exhaling to carry that tension out of the body. If any sensation or emotion is arising, try to just sit with it, not labeling it as good or bad, but just taking it for what it is. And just with the exception if you're feeling pain. Of course, if we feel pain within any yoga pose, always come out. Don't feel that you have to stay for the entire duration of the hold. And we're taking 3 more big breaths here. You can unravel your legs, maybe stretching them long in front or just doing whatever you're called to do for this moment. And when you're ready, we'll repeat Swan pose on the opposite side. So making our way back towards all fours. And this time the left knee comes slowly in front. We're flexing our left foot slightly, walking that back knee back a little bit more. Supporting the left hip this time, making sure you're not collapsing too much onto it. And if you're ready, we're slowly hinging down into Sleeping Swan. Remembering to maintain that activity, not fully collapsed here. Feet are slightly aware of what's happening. Now cultivating some awareness for your left glute. Feeling whatever you feel. And just breathing into it for the next 3 minutes. And for the last few breaths here, just letting the body release anything it has in this left glute. Using the breath, taking 3 more big breaths in and out. And when you're ready, gently lifting yourself back up. Coming this time to sit over on this left hip. And then bringing your right foot all the way around now to find our shoelace. Option this time is to straighten out your left leg. And we're saying hello to that right glute again. Breathing into it. Making sure you're not sitting on your feet. Opening up your upper body so you can send a clear breath into your hips. And before we move out of the pose, keeping your awareness down in your glutes and just seeing if you can release something a little bit more. Take 3 more breaths. And now unraveling the legs. And you can take your time. Once again, doing whatever you're craving here. Maybe some straight legs, some ankle circles. And we're going to do the next portion of the sequence on the back. So you can bring your hips towards the center of your mat and then slowly roll your spine down. Giving your body a moment here just to feel the support of the floor beneath you. Now we'll come into air releasing pose. So you can bring your knees up towards your chest. Keep your feet beside each other. Don't cross your ankles. That's going to make the distribution of your weight into your glutes uneven. So we want to keep the ankles beside each other. Arms can come around the knees and you can just give yourself a hug here. Really approaching the glutes from a different angle here. starting to feel that stretch within both glutes. A really nice, simple but subtly effective pose to stretch your glutes. So just explore it with your breath. Breathing in to expand your body, and breathing out to squeeze everything a little bit tighter. We're going to end our practice with a reclined twist. So you can straighten out your left leg, having it long on the mat, and bring the sole of your right foot onto your left thigh. Now your left hand comes to hold this top knee, and your right arm reaches out to the right, keeping it perpendicular to your body. Stack your hips on top of each other now, so your left hip is over the right, and you're bringing your right knee over towards the left side of the mat. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can look over towards your right hand. And we just want to keep both of our shoulders connected to the floor here, but feel free to explore this twist within your hips. The more you can stack your hips, the more of an opening you might feel through this right glute. Staying here for 2 minutes in total, but if you need to come out earlier, of course, please do. Keep sending your breath deep into your right hip, even though it is a little bit harder now that our body is twisted. If you feel any tingling or numbness within your right hand, you can just lower it, bringing it a bit closer to your body. Taking our last 3 breaths now, just for this pose. And now you can start to roll back on to your center. When you're ready, your right leg will be long now, and the sole of your left foot comes onto your right thigh. Right hand holds the knee, left arm reaches up. Stack the hips so your left hip is on top, bringing your left knee over to the right side of the mat, and your left arm back down to the left. Both shoulders stay grounded here to protect your spine, but your hips are stacking, and you might look over to your left hand if that feels good. Finding our left glute now. Breathing into every sensation. Using gravity and your breath to help release anything that your left glute is holding. Taking your last 3 breaths here. And you can roll back into the center. And you can take your time here, just lying on the floor, letting the body process everything that we've done. And when you're ready, you can bring your knees back to your chest, not crossing your ankles, and just giving yourself a hug. One last release for your glutes. And then we will allow ourselves to cross our ankles. Hold opposite feet here if you can. If not, don't worry too much. And just gently pull your feet back towards you. And then we'll switch our feet. So now the opposite ankle is on top. Gently grab your feet again and pull them back in. And then do whatever you need to do, maybe hugging behind your knees, your hamstrings, bringing the knees closer to your chest, maybe opening up the knees to release the groin, maybe making some little circles with your knees. And if you are doing those circles, make sure to go in both directions. Now, if you have time, I would definitely encourage you to lie on the mat for a few more minutes, coming into corpse pose and just letting the body absorb everything that we've done. But if you are ready to end your practice, you can bring yourself back up into a seat. And we will officially end our practice here. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed to my channel as well. I'd really love to practice with you again in the future. And I do have lots more videos just like this one, so I will leave those linked in the description below. I'll see you in another practice soon. But until then, take good care of yourself and goodbye.